Well, what an atmosphere inside this wonderful football stadium. Steep-sided, four stands, full, Tifo has been called. The flags of the two countries are aloft, courtesy of the fans. And out comes Valderrama on the left and Shearer on the right. No one will miss Valderrama with that extraordinary hairstyle. Now 36 years of age, still a critical influence for Colombia, but no more critical than the man standing about 4 or 5 yards to his left, Alan Shearer, who by the extraordinarily high standards of his game didn't play well against Romania. We want a repeat performance of that which he gave against Tunisia. The band is ready, the fans not quite ready, they're still singing, but we're prepared for the two national anthems if the man in the tannoy can remotely make himself heard. First, I think it's Colombia. Well, that was well observed for a change by the England fans, and let's hope that's a good sign of things to come. And in the stadium tonight, Prince Charles and Prince Harry, as we await the playing of God Save the Queen.
Of England.
That there were many more England players singing along with the anthem tonight, and there was a particular glint in the eye of David Beckham, who start this evening along with Michael Owen, the people's choices. Let England get what they require. To take us through the first period of commentary, Mike Ingham.
Well, I was just thinking, Alan, actually mentioning David Beckham. I remember the interview he gave after he was left out of the opening match, and he said that in Marseille he couldn't bear to hear the national anthem being played. When he was sitting on the bench, he felt so distraught that he wasn't part of the England World Cup team on that day. But inevitably, his moment comes in this side. An England team which will play in red shirts tonight and white shorts as Alan Shearer shakes hands with Carlos Valderrama. Great international football figure, of course, Valderrama. This is the England team: David Seaman, Gary Neville, Tony Adams and Sol Campbell. Darren Anderton, David Beckham, Paul Ince, Paul Scholes and Graham Lasso, Alan Shearer and Michael Owen. And before these games, in the half-an-hour period when everyone's warming up, they always play You'll Never Walk Alone to the crowd here, and Michael Owen must love every second of that. The Colombian team, they've had to make one change. Santa, the fullback, is suspended. So their team is Mondragon, the goalkeeper, the back four, Cabrera, Bermudez, Palacios and Moreno. Then in midfield, Serna, Lozano, Freddie Rincon, who is, of course, veteran of World Cup campaigns with Valderrama. And then up front, Diavia and the youngster Preciado, the 21-year-old, the man who got the goal against Tunisia right at the end of the previous match. The photographers who were all in front of us have now disappeared. Terry Butcher thought they were taking his picture. Actually, Prince Charles is sitting just a few rows behind us. That might have had something to do with it, Terry, but now the serious stuff. How do you see it?
Well, England in red, and Alan Shearer straight away geeing up his teammates. I expect to see England come out right from the word go. I expect to see them attack the Colombians, and if they do give the ball away, to make sure they try and win it back as early as they can. I think the England players have been fired up by the criticism. I think the supporters will demand that they start off better than they did against Romania. If they can start off with a bit of pace and a bit of fire and a bit of aggression, then I think we've got a chance to really stamp our authority on the match from an early point.
The referee, as we hear the Three Lions song at the moment, is Arturo Bricio Carter from Mexico. Ian Payne was talking about him before the game. He sent off 3 players in the last World Cup. Indeed, he sent off a player in the very first match, Germany against Bolivia. He then sent off a Cameroon player against Brazil, and he sent off Zola, playing for Italy on his birthday. And in the game between Saudi and France, of course, he sent off 1 player from either side. So at the moment he's a joint record holder in the World Cup, having shown 5 red cards with João Quinho, the French referee. There is some delay here as Arturo Bricio Carter holds the ball, and we wait to get underway. And he's a very important figure, that referee down there tonight, Terry, as always, isn't he?
Yeah, he certainly is. I think a lot of the British viewers of the World Cup will be disappointed with a lot of good continental players start diving and falling over, and sometimes referees can't distinguish between a genuine foul and players play acting. So he's got to be tough, he's got to be officious, of course, and do his job very well. But we hope that we don't mention his name too often tonight. I think that's a sign of a good referee. But it's going to be blood and thunder, hopefully, from England's point of view. It's a chance not to go in recklessly, but a chance to go in strong and stamp England's authority on the match early on. Only 1 England player so far on a yellow card, Sol Campbell, jogging up and down at the moment inside the England half. England will play from right to left in this first half. Prince Harry, who's an Arsenal fan, is watching David Seaman and Tony Adams in this England team. The last time England beat Colombia was before the 1970 World Cup in Mexico in Bogota. Referee gives us a signal. Flashlights all around this stadium. This, of course, the home of the French champions Racing Club Lens, and the ball with England and with Tony Adams, the middleman at the back, and Paul Ince comes deep immediately to get possession. Hits the ball into the Colombian half for the first time. Shearer gets up with Bermudez, and the ball eventually breaks through to Mondragon, the goalkeeper, who apparently in training over the last 2 days, Terry, has been pummeled with crosses. Yeah, she actually saw Bermudez challenge Alan Shearer, then wasn't too happy with Alan's challenge in the air. I think they've been programmed to withstand an aerial bombardment, or what they think will be an English aerial bombardment, but I would like to see England get the ball down on the deck first. They've got players that want to play with the ball at their feet, and England have to get into wide positions first and foremost and get up the park and into the Colombian half to get these crosses in. But they have been doing a lot of training on these aerial crosses and threats from England. England mustn't allow Valderrama to dictate in midfield in the way that he did in the second half against Tunisia. And they'll be aware of his danger as a long ball out of the Colombian half. Remember, Colombia have to win the game to clinch a quarter-final. Almost certainly it will be against Argentina on Tuesday, but you never know. It all depends on Romania and Tunisia tonight, as there's a real speculative shot there by Diavia, who plays for Barcelona, but not the Barcelona you and I know, the one in Ecuador. And that's gone well wide of David Seaman's goal, and it's a goal kick to England. Early thoughts on the way that England have formed up here, Terry, the system they have here? No, it's definitely a 3-5-2. Paul Ince is the one in midfield. He's just checking on Valderrama. Valderrama wears number 10. Oh, desperate clearance by David Seaman, but fortunately Preciado couldn't control it, and in came Sol Campbell. David Seaman completely scuffed his clearance, and England survive, and Darren Anderton hits the ball into the Colombian half. Shearer tries to get it. Scholes with the shot. Mondragon lets it go, but he will keep that out. Wonderful shot from Paul Scholes. It really stung Mondragon. He was surprised by the pace. Scholes again lifts the ball over Cabrera. In goes the cross from Scholes into the area. Shearer with a header, and that'll fall kindly this time to the goalkeeper. Well, that action at one end, Stephen scuffed his clearance. Paul Ince was the one that tied it up. Went to Anderton. One long ball up. Shearer jumping with 2 centre-halves in the end. The ball just dropped down to Scholes, about 25 yards out. Let it go with his right foot. But I think it actually moved through the air. Mondragon just got his hand to it, parried it away. Good start by Scholes, good start by England. Shearer pops up on the flank again, over on the right-hand side. He did a bit too much of that sometimes, I thought, against Romania in Toulouse. England 0, Colombia 0. You're listening, of course, to 5 Live, your World Cup radio channel, as the game settles down here in Lens, right up in the north of France.
The ball is with Diavia now, just inside the England half. He manages to get away from Paul Ince. Support comes in from Cerner, and now Valderrama, who hasn't really had much of the ball yet in these opening periods. Colombia trying to play it through midfield, and it's a great goal. Referee penalises the challenge by Paul Ince on Freddie Rincon, and that's going to be a Colombian free kick, 15 yards inside the England half. Valderrama's there, of course, with the big orange hair, and a veteran of 3 World Cup campaigns. Valderrama used to play in France with Montpellier. It's a short free kick. Diavia's still got it. Back again to Valderrama. Colombia trying to get into some sort of rhythm here. They still have the ball inside the England half. They're going down the centre. Ince doesn't get his challenge in completely and firmly. Still Colombia building. The shot in the end is all along the ground from Lozano and through to David Seaman.
Yeah, so never really going to trouble David Seaman there. David Seaman did start off nervously. Gary Neville passing the ball back earlier, and he didn't really come and meet his clearance as he normally does. Not quite fluid with his movement, and his goal kick was one that scuffed, and fortunately for England, Paul Ince was to tidy up. But Valderrama's the one to worry England, I think, at the chance. It's a bit like Hadji did the other night for Romania. Doesn't get involved in the game that much defensively, but offensively he's very good.
Cabrera playing Cerner into trouble. The challenge came in from Paul Scholes, and the Mexican referee, who's at the moment talking to Alan Shearer, who's saying there was a dive down there, has given Colombia the free kick. And Cabrera, another of these veterans from World Cups, hits the ball across to the far side, and Moreno, the man who's come in for Santa on the left-hand side. Colombia playing a 4-4-2. They almost give the ball away in midfield. They retrieve it, and Cerner finds Valderrama. Nice little touch from him to the youngster Preciado, and Cerner again, and back to one of the centre-backs, Palacios. Bermudez, who kept Shearer out at Wembley the last time these two sides met in a goalless draw. Bermudez again finds Cabrera down the Colombian right. Cabrera going inside the England half and finding Rincon, the man with the long legs who used to play for Real Madrid and who's now based in Brazil, Freddie Rincon. Colombia knocking it around on the halfway line without getting too far. Valderrama once more. Valderrama coming down the Colombian right, plays the ball into the centre of England's defence. It's up in the air from Gary Neville. In the end, they leave it to Lasso to volley the ball back inside Colombian territory. Bermudez with the long hair will get there first, cushions the header to this near side. Colombia starting to get a little bit more possession. They knock it back inside England's half. Adams is there first, and Colombia set off again from the back. Nice ball by Cerner. Cerner to Lozano. This is a decent little spell from Colombia. 0-0 here in Lens. A game that Colombia have to win. They've never beaten England in international football. Still they have it patiently, then they give it away recklessly. Shearer back to Scholes. Scholes on the halfway line. Avoids David Beckham and plays it beautifully down the right-hand side to Anderton, who's taken up this good position. Now, England need to get good crosses in. The ball hasn't come in yet from Anderton. No, in the end, it's a swivel and a volley from Michael Owen. Spectacular stuff. 15 yards out. In the end, it doesn't test the Colombian goalkeeper. Anderton's cross in. It was slightly behind and a little awkward for Michael Owen to deal with, and it's gone wide.
Well, Colombia had a good spell then and knocked it about. England not really just sitting off them. I think that might be a tactic of Glenn Hoddle, just to sit off a little bit, and then when one signal is given to try and press the ball. But as it was, I think Rincon gave the ball away to Shearer. His ball then to Scholes, out wide to Anderton, took on Valderrama for pace, beat him quite comfortably, crossed the ball just slightly behind Owen then, and he's got the shot over the bar. But good play by Darren Anderton. He started off well again. Good
pressure again by England, by Beckham, and he's beaten Lozano, and then Owen actually got in his way, and the referee's given the free kick for a little bit of petulance by Harold Lozano. Most of these Colombian players playing in South America, but Lozano is in Spain with Valladolid. It's going to be a free kick to England. Now, David Beckham's lining the ball up. Anderton's not too far away. In the area, Scholes, Owen, Shearer, and Campbell's made a late entry into the area away to our left. Now, Adams is going to go in as well, right at the end. The free kick is taken by Beckham. It should be headed away by Cabrera. Wasn't the best of free kicks. Shearer will hold the ball up near side, the left edge of the area, uses Lasso into Campbell. Campbell goes down under Bermudez's challenge on the edge of the area. Referee was happy. Rincon's trying to escape, plays the ball dangerously across the field. Colombia have to be careful here. In the end, they get it to the far side, and it's Moreno's clearance is charged down. And I know that England feel Colombia can be vulnerable at the back under pressure, and they look a little anxious at times as Valderrama's trying to turn around Anderton, and in the end Well, again, even though Valderrama's got the ball, the referee decides to stop the game and give Colombia the free kick.
Well, it's better pressure by England, wasn't it? About 4 or 5 players around Valderrama. He's got very strong legs, very strong body, holds people off well, but he was fouled to a certain degree. But it's better by England already. They've applied a lot more pressure, been more physical, got hold of the play a little bit, and decided to put themselves about amongst the Colombians. That's a better start for England, slightly better start than we saw against Romania.
For the first time, really, we hear the Colombian fans, a couple of thousand of them maybe, but it's a home game essentially this for England. 42,000 here in Lens. England 0, Colombia 0 on 5 Live. The ball is with Valderrama, the playmaker in midfield for Colombia. He will retire at the end of this tournament. This could be his last game. The ball with Cabrera. Again, Colombia building patiently. They've got Díaz and Preciado waiting in the area. Ball is still, though, wide down this near side. Rincon getting a lot of the early possession. Nice skills from Rincon. Back again to Valderrama. Back again to Rincon. But Shearer says, I've had enough of this, and comes back and tries to get his challenge in. Colombia, though, good in possession. It's Rincon again. Great challenge from Paul Ince, and Scholes as well put himself about there. Rincon, referee says play on. Rincon's looking for a free kick. There was nothing wrong with Paul Ince's challenge, and it was very reassuring from England's point of view to see Ince go in there with that challenge, bearing in mind, of course, he hobbled out of the game against Romania after only half an hour.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Paul Ince's challenge, and Rincon went down play acting, I think, and the referee decided then it wasn't a foul. The ball went through, I think, and Paul Scholes went in very strongly as well. A lot of determination about the England start so far.
It's still tense, though, as Michael Owen takes the ball down that right-hand side. The cross comes in from Anderton. It's gone up in the air off Cerner, and out of play to the far side in front of all those England flags over on the far side. It's going to be Darren Anderton with the throw 15 yards from the corner flag. Throws the ball down to Beckham. Beckham's got what he wants tonight, a place in the centre of England's World Cup midfield. Beckham into Adams, who's just popped up inside the Colombian half. Excellent ball now for Anderton. In comes the flat cross from Anderton. Shearer doesn't really get hold of it. And again, it was just slightly behind the striker from Anderton, and the ball is with Mondragon.
And actually was Cabrera, just threw himself in front of Alan Shearer. He had a bit more time to actually pull that down, tried to meet it on the volley. In the end, didn't quite do either, didn't quite control it, didn't quite volley it. The ball just bounced through harmlessly to Mondragon in the Colombian goal. But better by Anderton, better by Adams coming up and supporting the attack as well.
Adams has just missed a header, and Díaz got the ball, and Lasso will have to get a challenge in here, and he does do. England 0, Colombia 0, 10 minutes gone in the first half. Beckham hits it early, down the centre. Bermudez is there. Owen is steaming in, out comes the goalkeeper. And the centre-half and the goalkeeper get that one right, but they were very aware of little Owen down there. England now retreat as Colombia move the ball out, and it's with Cerner. Cerner, who plays in Argentina with Boca Juniors, and of course would dearly love to be meeting them next Tuesday, if that's what has to be. Second in this group, of course, will be playing Argentina in San Etienne. Still 0-0. Sol Campbell turns away from Díaz, gets a little bit of a kick for his troubles as well, but England have the possession in their red shirts and white shorts. They need to get it far side, and Terry's pointing because it's very congested down here on the left-hand side. And now Adams uses his experience, gets the ball down the right, and Beckham moves it on to Anderton. Gary Neville short of the halfway line. Into Scholes. 3 Manchester United men down there, of course. Now Darren Anderton once more. He's got Gary Neville on the outside. Gary Neville for England. Has to go back a few yards. It's hit in early from Beckham. Shearer's not offside! And he's headed it over the... Oh, yes, he is. He's headed it over the bar. Flag's gone up over on the far side. Let's get an update from Saint-Denis. John Murray, Romania and Tunisia.
This is interesting. Romania 0, Tunisia 1. A penalty from Soye after Salimi was pushed in the back. Keeper went the right way, but it was a good penalty from Soye. Romania 0, Tunisia 1.
Well, that has staggered me, that scoreline. Romania 0, Tunisia 1. If it was to stay like that, and if England were to win this game, then England would play Croatia and not Argentina, but a long way to go yet. But Tunisia leading 1-0 against Romania, and we've played 12 minutes of the first half here in Lens. England 0, Colombia 0. England have to win the game, though, of course, to have any chance of winning the group. It's still with Colombia, and Valderrama is tackled easily by Scholes, and the ball falls to Lasso just down below us on the England left. Ince played very quickly into Scholes. Scholes faced by 2 Colombian players. Where's the width? It's going to the far side, and Darren Anderton seeing plenty of the ball early on. Anderton tried to find Owen, couldn't reach him, and Colombia look now to Lozano to get them moving from out of their own half. Little Díaz turns away from Adams, goes down very dramatically under the challenge. Mexican referee doesn't produce a yellow card, but that might be a last warning for Tony Adams.
Yeah, I think it was a great turn by Diavila just inside the centre circle, but whenever Colombia do attack, they push up Freddie Rincon up front to make it 3-on-3. So England at times at the back are going man for man and finding it difficult, but Valderrama's trying to get on the ball, but Paul Scholes, to me, started off the game the best of the England midfield player. David Beckham really hasn't got into the game yet.
What England could do for a goal here, just to settle them down and make Colombia score twice. Ball is down the Colombian left, and it's Moreno there, really attacking for about the first time. Into the area it goes. Gary Neville's waiting for it. Doesn't panic. Strokes the ball towards Owen. It's too high, though. If England are looking for Owen, they'll need to get it down more than that. Colombia regroup, sort themselves out again at the back, and Bermudez finds Cabrera down this near side. Into Diavila, who doesn't control it, but manages to get the ball back to Rincon with a lovely first touch there from Freddie Rincon, the tall man. Cabrera once more. In goes Graham Lasso. The ball breaks away from Cabrera. Colombia tidy up, and the man sitting very deep for them, just in front of the back four, Lozano, plays the ball into the centre of England's defence. It's a great challenge from Gary Neville. Good long clearance to the far side, where it's retrieved by Palacios, one of the two centre-backs, alongside Bermudez. Now Moreno, down the far side, the Colombian left, into this stocky little figure Diavila, who tries to flick it onto Moreno, but England have got it, and in comes David Beckham. Beckham swishes it beautifully and accurately now to Lasso, who's got a little space down this left-hand side. Lasso back again to Beckham. Beckham with a shuffle, then gives the ball away, and that's really criminal at this level. Beckham's given the ball away in midfield, and it's with this exciting young player, the 21-year-old Preciado. Beckham trying to redeem the error, but he hasn't got it away. They mustn't let Preciado get a shot in. In the end, he whafts the right footer, and that just about hits the corner flag down this near side for an England goal kick.
Yeah, I think the Colombians, as soon as they get a chance, 20, 30 yards out, are going to really smash the ball and have a shot on goal. In that situation, David Beckham was the problem for England. Good possession, the ball coming from Lasso into midfield, tried to play it through to Scholes, who had gone in advanced position. In the end, it was cut out, and England can't afford to do that. They've got to keep the ball a little better. They've got good width with Anderton on the right-hand side, good width with Lasso on the left-hand side, but it's Anderton that's seeing a lot more of the ball, and he needs to get a lot more as well, because England are promising down the flank. It's
Shearer, left-hand side, but poor delivery from him, and away by Palacios. Just a reminder, after 15 minutes, it's 0-0 here, but Tunisia lead through a Sawai penalty against Romania in Saint-Denis. The ball with Carlos Valderrama. Valderrama into Lozano, and now back again to Palacios once more. No real scares yet for the England defenders. The edgiest moments so far, a poor clearance from David Seaman. Colombia still keeping the ball at the back, biding their time, and eventually it's Serna turning it to this near side, and Cabrera finds Rincon, who has to drag the ball back inside his own half to keep it, and then play the ball in field once more to this little worker Serna in midfield. Colombia now look to Palacios. In it goes to Diavila. Back again on the halfway line, Lozano. Lots of possession here from Colombia without really cutting through, and in the end in comes Scholes, takes the ball away, and Beckham finds Shearer. Shearer looks to the far side, Anderton's available. Instead it's with Beckham. Beckham's holding it, and then lays the ball long, looking for Anderton to make the charge, and England win a corner. Great work there from Anderton, down the right-hand side again. Anderton started well here. England have a corner, and what have they got up their sleeve here from the training ground? Tony Adams strides forward, Sol Campbell as well. David Beckham can take this corner. That's an advantage, that's a bonus for having him in the team. Campbell and Adams at the near post. Shearer's 15 yards out. The corner kick is taken by Beckham, looks for a back header from Campbell, but Valderrama now will clear for Colombia. Knocks it to this near side, and it's with Rincon trying to take on Graham Lasso. Lasso hasn't got it past him, and Rincon now for Colombia. Preciado's asking for the ball in the area. Still Rincon. England defenders take Rincon out of the area, and in the end that's a good clearance by Gary Neville, and Colombia have a corner.
Well, disappointing from our corner, from England's corner on the right-hand side. Beckham, good ball into the near post it was, and then the ball broke to Valderrama. He's very good at just holding the ball on, releasing it at the right time. Released Freddie Rincon. He went past Graham Lasso very easily, went into the box. In the end it was blocked, but good break by Colombia.
Carlos Valderrama with Colombia's first corner. The big centre-back Bermudez has got into the England penalty area. Valderrama's corner is headed away by Campbell. but it'll fall to Cabrera, who's got his captain available still, Valderrama, and that's offside, as Valderrama held it, played it forward to Cabrera. England pushed up, and it's offside.
You've got to be aware of Valderrama's presence. He doesn't do a lot of tracking back, doesn't want to do the work defensively. He goes up to join the other two strikers up in attack and just floats around, a little bit like Hadji did for Romania. But when he does get the ball, he supplied that ball through for, I think it was Preciado, who actually scored the winner against Tunisia right late in the game. He was the one that was still going late in the game despite his great age, and he supplied the ball through, and in the end, it's just one good ball from him, one good ball from Hadji, and Romania went ahead as well.
Another mistake by Beckham with his head this time in midfield. A mixed bag from him so far in these opening 18 minutes. The ball is with Paul Ince, this driving force in midfield. Can't get the ball forward. It comes off Cerner and forced to Campbell, who lifts it to this near side, and Graham Lasso, who will be so anxious to do well tonight. England now with Beckham. Beckham to the far side. That's a delightful ball, controlled by Anderton. Comes inside the fullback and then gives it away. More frustration for England. Colombia's clearance. Lovely back flick from Rincon. And Moreno now. Little room for him down that far side. Still Moreno for Colombia. Oh, and it was delayed, and it was an obvious pass, and it's stolen from Colombia by Adams. Adams hits it long but doesn't find Shearer. And some of the passing from England, not the best so far. But now Owen. Owen turns away from Palacios. Doesn't take the ball with him. Colombia scuff it away. Beckham might win it back. Lifts the ball over Lozano and gets a bit of a push in his back. Finds Owen. Owen trying to turn, and he's flattened after he passes the ball to the far side to Shearer. Owen will pick himself up slowly. Then comes across from Beckham. Oh, and Lasso tries to place a left footer. And in the end, it's 5 yards wide. But again, I think the flag went up over on the far side, did it?
Nope.
Terry?
Actually, it was a good ball across. Graham Lasso tried to play it side-footed and just pass the ball into the net rather than actually strike it on the volley. I think in that situation, the case of just keeping the ball down and blasting the shot in. Unfortunately for England, that went about 2 or 3 yards wide. The referee actually produced a yellow card then for Cerner because he flattened Owen just in the prelude to that cross by Anderton. But good play by England, good interpassing just in and around that Colombian box.
Nearly 20 minutes gone. England 0, Colombia 0. It's a cool night in northern France. It's a cloudy night, but it's a dry night. None of the rain of Wimbledon, as Owen, as the defender stumbles, takes the ball down the England right. Owen moving towards the dead ball line. What's the cross like? It's headed away by Bermudez. Only scores Anderton. Oh, yes, that's it. Darren Anderton smacks the ball into the back of Colombia's net. Could that be the goal to take England into the last 16? Darren Anderton, his presence in this England team has been questioned by many people. That's the best way to respond. Goal to Anderton, 1-0 to England.
Well, I tell you what, as little Michael Owen deserves full praise for this on the far side. He actually won the ball back for England and delivered a cross in. The ball headed out. Scholes put the defender under pressure. The ball headed out. It just dropped to Anderton. One control on his right foot. The ball set up lovely. Cerner tried to close him down. He smashed the ball. And Mondragon, the Colombian goalkeeper in the goal, couldn't believe it when the ball went in the back of the net. I think he thought the ball was going wide. It wasn't. It's in the back of the net. That's the start England need.
I should think Prince Harry enjoyed that, even though he is an Arsenal fan. I'm sure he enjoyed seeing a Tottenham player score for England, and score for England for the 6th time. I mean, that is a good record that Darren Anderton has. He's scored 6 times, but now, and this is always dangerous, Colombia have come straight back and they've won a free kick near side, 5 yards in from the near touchline, only about 14 or 15 yards from the dirt. Now England are going to have to be careful here. A yellow card has been shown to Graham Lasso for not retreating another yard or two. A silly, pointless yellow card for Graham Lasso. Valderrama's kick headed up in the air by Bermudez. Gary Neville looks to his goalkeeper, but then in the end takes no chances at all and heads the ball to the far side. Well, England have played with great discipline over the first 2 games. But was it Scholes or was it Lasso? Well, I thought he showed the yellow card to Lasso, I have to say, but now on the monitor they're saying it was Paul Scholes. Well, if it's Paul Scholes, we'll have to get absolute confirmation. But now Diavia. No, Campbell away. Well, it could have been either Lasso or Scholes, to be honest. They were both there together. It was 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But apparently the cameraman down there thinks it's Paul Scholes who's got the yellow card. What did you think, Terry?
Yeah, I think it was Scholes in the end. Scholes and Graham Lasso just on the edge of the penalty area didn't retreat far enough, and the referee was very officious, decided to book Paul Scholes. But bear in mind, if we do get one yellow card today, England players, apart from Sol Campbell, and England progress through, that yellow card will be scrapped for the second phase. So we don't want, with one person we don't want to get a yellow card, and that's Sol Campbell.
And it, with great respect to Paul Scholes, more important maybe that Lasso doesn't get 2 yellow cards. There's no real other left-sided player in the team that can play in that position. As Michael Owen heads the ball on, looking for Shearer. It's the halfway point of the first half. So far, so good. And here's Alan Green.
And can I tell you, when I stopped screaming my own celebration, I looked around and young Harry had both arms aloft. His dad should have let him wear a scarf. England lead 1-0. Terrific strike by this man, Darren Anderton, on the far side, who had an excellent game against Romania, one of the few England pros who really did play well. And the England fans are singing and hoping that in around about, 65 minutes time, plus 15 for the interval, they'll be celebrating qualification for certain into the last 16 of the World Cup. And remember that Tunisia are still a goal up on Romania. So if the way I work it out at the moment, if those scorelines stay the same, England would be first in the group on goals scored. Campbell defending on the edge of his own penalty area, lifts the clearance to Owen, who had such a part in that goal. It's a terrific cross on the right that Bermudez had struggled to head away, and Anderton knocked it in. Here's Owen again, heading down to Scholes. He had Beckham within a couple of yards, and he tried to play a much more elaborate ball and gave it away to Rincon. Here's Valderrama. Valderrama forward to Preciado. Preciado's pass in field to Diavila, intercepted by Ince, who's had a terrific opening 25 minutes. Here's Anderton again, running down the far touchline. That's the England right. Infield to Beckham. Scholes is in a good position. Beckham finds Scholes, 30 yards from goal. Anderton available and unmarked on the far side. The pass swung his way. Anderton level with the right edge of the penalty area. Back it goes to Beckham. Scholes and Shearer and Owen wait around the penalty area. Forward to Anderton again. Can he get the cross in? It's deep. Looking for Scholes. It's headed away. Falls to Owen. Owen shoots over the crossbar. Should have got that on target.
Should have got it on target, but great pressure. Well, I think it was Cabrera of Colombia. Really threw himself. Oh no, it's actually Cerner threw himself at the ball. A great play by Darren Anderton on the right-hand side. He actually got the ball and amongst I think a toilet roll on the far side. There's a bit of a mess on the pitch, but he didn't make a mess of the cross. A lovely ball to the far post. Scholes went up, the ball coming out to Owen, controlled it, tried to hit a dipping volley over the top of Mondragon. In the end, he put it about 2 or 3 feet over the bar with a lot of pace. But that's very bright by Darren Anderton. He's easily been England's best player so far.
Certainly true. We played 25 minutes here in Lens. This is 5 Live, your World Cup station on the BBC, and England lead 1-0. But here's Rincon running down the right for Colombia. Crosses first time into the side netting. Seaman had it covered all the way. And I'd just written a note actually before the Anderton goal, Terry, that England have started slowly in all 3 group games.
Yeah, they started slowly, but I think obviously the Colombians have to come out and win the game. I mean, the draw's no good to them to qualify, so they have to come out and win the match. And they had a lot of possession at the back. They pushed men forward, but the back four really just knocking the ball about quite aimlessly. And England, when they did win the ball, kept it a little bit. I think it's probably one of the best starts they had. I think definitely better than against Romania, but getting that goal is also important, and hopefully now will settle England down.
Throw into Colombia on the near side. Cabrera will take it, who plays for Los Millonarios. Back to Bermudez. Bermudez midway inside his own half and slides the ball forward to Lozano, still inside Colombian territory. Ahead of him is Preciado and Rincon, but it's wide to the right hand side, and Cabrera. Now Rincon collects. He's played very well in these opening 25 minutes. He's a delightfully skillful player. He's such a tall, muscular figure with what a delicate touch. Far side now, Moreno. Infield to Lozano inside the centre circle, who gives the ball away carelessly, and here's Lasso for England, just outside his own penalty area. Back to David Seaman. Seaman has Adams available. Arsenal to Arsenal. Not Seaman to Seaman this time. On to Ince. That's an in-joke, folks, if you didn't hear the first game. Back to Seaman. Seaman clears right-footed. Up over the halfway line. Headed back by Colombia. Cleared by Adams, but it was a deflected clearance. The flag though was up for offside anyway, and it should be a free kick to England.
Yeah, it was offside against Valderrama. He's used his pace to try and get back after trying to block David Seaman's kick, and he just walked back, I think it was, and he was offside. Tony Adams actually made a hash of the clearance, but Valderrama offside. But England, hopefully this goal will settle England down. You still want to see England attack. You still want to see him try and get that second goal and get the ball up to the main strikers.
Lasso, good header to Shearer. Shearer looking for Anderton down the far side. It goes to Anderton. Owen waits inside the penalty. The pass back to Beckham. Beckham was definitely caught by Lysander. Referee waves play on. Anderton crosses into the penalty area. Cabrera lets it run, and then he clears it. I wonder if the referee might be thinking of another yellow card for that tackle on Beckham. Maybe not. Beckham challenged again, but it's headed on by Valderrama, only to Anderton. Anderton guides it well to the far side, and Owen encouraged to take on the defender. Gets the cross in too close to the goalkeeper. It wasn't a good cross this time, and the ball's with Mondragon.
But that's what we want to see, don't we? Someone like Michael Owen on the far side. Anderton's done it to that right-hand side. This time Owen went out there. Anderton to come inside and tried to deliver the ball to his striking partner. Shearer didn't quite come off, went straight to the goalkeeper. But the other night against Romania, it was Shearer that was crossing the ball, and that's what we definitely don't want to see.
Campbell has the ball to the halfway line, headed back by Cerna, but only to Gary Neville. Lovely ball by Neville. Flick to his left to Lasso. Lasso guides it forward. Bermudez heads it away. Owen was running behind him. It needed to be dinked down the channel rather than directly towards the penalty area, and it's cleared by Colombia. Cerna then gives the ball away. Ince to Beckham. Anderton available on the far side. England lead 1-0. We played 28 minutes here in Lens. Infield to Beckham. And now Ince again, edge of the centre circle. Excellent ball by Paul Ince, who's having an outstanding game in midfield for England. Now Lasso down the near side. Back to Scholes. The pass was a little short. Scholes made something of it. Scholes finds Ince. Ince with room to run forward, and then he's tackled from behind, was he? And yes, it's a free kick to England for a foul by Preciado.
Yeah, definitely a free kick. He's trying to go through a couple of players. Paul Ince got the ball through, and Preciado just clipped his heels, and Paul Ince went down. But Anderton's in acres of space on the far side. England good interplay in the midfield. Ball's coming out to Lasso back inside, but Anderton is on. He's free all the time on the far side. If they can just get the ball to him and delivers a good cross, could be 2-0.
This is it. Beckham's 18th cap for England. He's yet to score. How many free kicks has he scored from a similar position for Manchester United? It's around about 25 yards from goal, maybe even a little further. Anderton standing close to the ball, but it's surely Beckham's strike. Right-footed. Here he comes. Around the wall, into the net. Fantastic goal! David Beckham has won the point for England already. We've only played half an hour. His 18th appearance, his first goal. Stunning free kick.
Unbelievable, what a great strike. We haven't seen many spectacular free kicks. I think Sierra was the only one for Chile to actually hit the target. This time David Beckham coming over. As soon as it left his foot, it's going in the right hand corner as far as Mondragon's concerned. Left hand corner as far as England are concerned. 2-0. There's no way back, I think, for Colombia. I know it might be tempting fate, but on this performance England could rattle up 4 or 5.
Brilliant Beckham, absolutely brilliant. Can I say one other thing now? Come on, Tunisia. Tunisia lead 1-0, remember. And at the moment, the way the results are, England will top Group G. Ince on the far side. Back to Anderton and Scholes and Gary Neville. And England should be oozing confidence at the moment. There's a group of England fans on the far side. They're leading a conga through the stand on the far touchline. I think England fans are going to celebrate all night long here in Lens.
I remember them doing a conga like that, similar to like that, when England won 3-0 against Poland in '86 in Monterrey, and I know that it could be 3-0, but it's nice to see England fans celebrate like that, the right way. It's nice to see England go into a 2-0 lead early on as well, but other teams have gone into a 2-0 lead. If you look at Yugoslavia against Germany, and you look against Holland against Holland against Mexico it was, who came back from the dead. So, you know, it's not all over yet. England have to get this third goal if they can, but keep it tight at the moment.
That was a great free kick, the best of the tournament so far, without question. And what will that do to the confidence of David Beckham, who must have had much of his confidence shattered by being left out in the first place here in the tournament. Here's young Beckham inside the centre circle, guides the ball towards the left side, towards Scholes, but it's behind his club colleague and out of play for a throw-in.
He hadn't started the game off that well, Beckham, to be fair to him. Hadn't really got into the game. Scholes had got into the game a lot more than him, but he just started to drift into it, make 1 or 2 passes. Lovely ball through to Anderton on a couple of occasions, and as soon as he struck that free kick, there's only one way that was going to finish, only one way that was going to end up, and that was in the back of the net.
Moreno plays the ball forward. Preciado, who gave away the free kick, gets it back to Rincon, but as Rincon stabs the ball hopelessly into the England penalty area, he just puts his hand to his head. And where's that conga going now? It's up and over stairs. I tell you what it's done. There's another conga on the stand, the upper tier of the stand away to the left. Wow. 32 minutes gone. I think Mike Ingham's going to join in, actually. And it's 2-0 to England. Anderton and Beckham. Moreno on the far side. And it was worrying in the first 15-20 minutes when Colombia were stroking the ball around. They were passing it very fluently indeed, much more fluently than England, especially this man Rincon. Then the tackle comes in on the far side by Paul Ince. Ince is furious that the free kick is given. It's taken quickly by Colombia, and then Valderrama feeds it towards the edge of the penalty area. Gary Neville back there, plays it back to Seaman. Seaman leans back, lifts the clearance away to the halfway line towards skipper Shearer. Shearer lets it bounce. Moreno's close by. Shearer controls it well. Then he's around Moreno, is he? And across comes Palacios, whacks it into the crowd, but not before it crossed the touchline. It's a throw into Colombia.
That was better from David Seaman. The ball back from Gary Neville, read the situation through Valderrama's pass and laid it back to David Seaman. Much better clearance from the Arsenal goalkeeper and England goalkeeper. A little bit tentative with the first two clearances, but he must be oozing confidence now as well, the rest of the team. But it's a case of just keeping your heads, keep passing the ball, make Colombia do the work and keep possession if you can.
I'm very disappointed in my son Simon, by the way. He's in the stand away to the right. He hasn't started a conga yet. Get your act together, Simon. 2-0 to England. Free kick to Colombia, just ahead of the centre circle. Valderrama takes it to Serna, back to Valderrama, to Diavila. Valderrama once more, slides it to the far side, taken up by Lozano, who has Moreno to his left. Lozano cuts in field, he's tall and gangly as well. Backheels the ball to Rincon. Valderrama, tackle comes in, won by Adams, collected by Beckham. Beckham drills it forward to Owen. Owen has Bermudez close by, so plays it back to Lasso. Lasso for England. Infield to Shearer. Beckham's in space in the centre circle. Shearer back to Lasso. And Shearer once more, still inside his own half. The pass back to Sol Campbell. And now Tony Adams inside the D of the England penalty area. Forward to Ince. Good play by England. They're making Colombia chase and harry them, but still keeping possession. Ince has it now. 10 minutes to half time. 5 live on the BBC. 2-0 to England here in Lens against Colombia. And remember, a draw would have been enough to guarantee going through to the last 16, but with Romania trailing 1-0 to Tunisia, at the moment England are going to win the group. Gary Neville to Beckham. Beckham has Anderton free on the far side, but Beckham's looking further forward, looking towards Shearer. Shearer lets it run cleverly into the penalty area, faced by Bermudez. Shearer onto his right foot, slides it back. Lasso crosses weakly, and really it needed to be hit right-footed, and Lasso was trying to pass the ball in.
Yeah, a bad finish by Graham Lasso. He's actually got up well on about 2 or 3 occasions. Could have scored at least 1 goal so far, but not quite applying the finishing touch there.
Diavila, though, sprints forward, flicks the ball to the left, to the far side, and Palacios up from defence, crosses into the penalty area. The header's down, 2 headers, defensive headers by England, the last by Lasso, and he finds Seaman.
Yeah, disappointed with his finish there, Graham Lasso. He just actually headed the ball back to David Seaman, and it's nice to have a bit of communication between Graham Lasso and David Seaman. Things working out well on that occasion, but he's been great in getting up, Graham Lasso. This time Alan Shearer laying the ball back to him, didn't quite finish. He's been undecided whether to actually smash the ball or try and pass it into the net, and has done neither on about 2 or 3 occasions.
Not thousands of England fans, you know, just they've left their seats and they're just singing and dancing in both stands behind the 2 goals. England 2, Colombia 0, and 2 excellent goals. First of all, Anderton's, and then Beckham's fabulous free kick. Seaman, the England goalkeeper, who hasn't had a save to make, has he? Nothing.
Be quiet, Alan, be quiet, will you?
Look, I'm just building it up. It's all right. There are more goals. There are more goals.
Well, don't build up the Colombians.
I tell you this, though. I'm glad that if nothing else, the 2 goals for England have shut up this Colombian nutcase behind. Have you heard that? Thought there was a buzz on the line. Interference. It's not. It's a Colombian commentator.
It was funny.
It's very quiet now.
He was saying the same about you.
I think he only goes on when Colombia are attacking. Free kick to England. Beckham takes it. Back to Scholes. Scholes 35 yards out. Flicks it back to Ince. Ince looking for Anderton. Excellent pass. Anderton controls. Right side. Foot in from the right touchline. There's the cross into the penalty area, but Mondragon makes the catch well and bowls it out quickly. And Lozano comes forward, playing it to the halfway line, where it's kept in play by Rincon. Rincon with a little bit of room has Valderrama to his right. Inside the centre circle, the captain, Valderrama, to Diavila. Diavila, fortunately, gets around Campbell and then can't get around Adams. The ball rebounds to Beckham, And now Adams again, and Adams finds Owen. Owen gives it away. Can't do that in the World Cup, Michael. Adams in again. Good challenge. And the referee indeed penalises Valderrama for leaving his foot in.
Yeah, Tony Adams just got his foot in front. Valderrama a little bit late on that occasion, but Michael Owen just gave the ball away a little bit needlessly then, and probably that's his first blemish of the match so far. But he started off well. He looks to be enjoying the occasion, and obviously made a major part in England's first goal. But there are little signs that the Colombians are still a threat. They're still dangerous. They're still sharp, and they're still making passes.
Look at that delightful first-time ball, though, by Beckham to the far side, and Anderton. Infield is Scholes. It might rebound off a defender towards Anderton. It doesn't, but it's out of play, and it's an England throw-in. Level over there to the penalty area. That's the Colombian penalty area. Anderton throws to Shearer. Shearer on to Scholes. Scholes is there. Owen waits for the cross. Scholes' cross is blocked, and it's behind for a corner.
Well, that's what we want. England got caught by a throw in virtually the same position by Romania in that match a few days ago, and this time Shearer holding the ball up and Scholes coming through and trying to cross the ball. It was actually blocked. I think it was by Palacios, and in the end it's gone for a corner. But England dangerous on set plays as well.
Beckham to take the corner from the right. Campbell's up in the near post. It's beyond him and into the arms of Mondragon, who's caught the ball very well so far. He's been practicing taking high crosses and succeeded. Free kick to Colombia. There must have been some sort of infringement. I didn't see what it was, but it's taken by Mondragon, and away it goes to the far side. And Rincon to Valderrama. Valderrama plays the ball through the centre circle to Diavila, who sweeps it to the near side, where it's kept in play by Cabrera and taken up by Rincon. Infield to Serna. Serna has Lozano to his left, ignores him, finds Cabrera once more. On to Valderrama. Patient football by Colombia. Neat back heel to Diavila. Diavila exchanges passes inside the penalty area. Then it's half cleared. Lozano collects. Diavila's there once more. Scholes hustling. And Scholes' shirt was being pulled there by Lozano. Lozano turns, shoots. It rebounds off to Adams and reaches Shearer. Beckham's down the right, unmarked, but it's played to Owen. Has Owen got the pace for Bermudez? He has. He's into it, into the penalty. He's brought down, is he? Oh, it's a corner. I tell you this. If Owen had gone down there, I think he'd have got the penalty.
Well, he most certainly would. Bermudez absolutely skinned for pace. The ball just getting inside the area. Michael Owen taking it inside with the outside of his right foot. He's now into the penalty area. Bermudez comes in with a tackle and actually wins the ball very well. To be fair to Michael Owen, that was a marvellous tackle, a marvellous recovery tackle by Bermudez, but great sharp pace by Michael Owen.
But it was also honest play by Michael Owen. He stood his feet as long as he could. It was a terrific tackle by Bermudez. Corner to England. 5 minutes to go to half-time. They lead 2-0. Valderrama's not retreated far enough. Lasso's telling the referee. Lasso backhills the ball to Beckham. Beckham's cross is poor and cleared. At least cleared as far as Ince. Ince running towards the near side. That's the England left, and then he plays it off Rincon, and it's a throw-in. To England, midway inside the Colombian half. Lasso to take it. Beckham close by. Goes to Beckham. Wide to Lasso again. Scholes is available, but Lasso runs it out of play, and now it's Colombia's turn to take the throw. Inside the final 5 minutes of a terrific first half for England, once they'd settled down. Anderton's goal and then Beckham's free kick. They lead 2-0. Mamumbia? Are they playing in this World Cup? Romania trail 1-0 to Tunisia. So at the moment, England top Group G, and would go to Bordeaux next Tuesday to play Croatia, and not to Saint Etienne, as we rather feared, to play Argentina. But things can change. Beckham was fouled as he headed that ball away and should have got the free kick, but it falls to Serna. Serna looking towards the near side, and Valderrama squeezing the ball into the penalty here, and it's a good turn and shot by Preciado, but straight at Seaman.
It's a little bit worrying. This once again Valderrama playing the ball in. Colombia having good movement, good players, good possession in and around the England penalty area. Good ball by Valderrama, but Preciado's shot never ever going to beat the England goalkeeper. From a slight angle on the right hand side, hit it first time all the way along the ground. David Seaman making a comfortable save. So we're still one of the few shots that David Seaman has had to say, but Colombia do have a lot of good possession, and I think Tony Adams has done well tonight. At the heart of the Arsenal of the England defence.
It's catching, isn't it?
Well, I mean, he is playing. I think he's playing as well as he did for Arsenal tonight for England, and he stepped forward on a few occasions as well, which is nice to see. Inside
the final 4 minutes, Lozano to Valderrama, who despite his 36 years of age still gets through a lot of work. Now he's tackled by Beckham. Beckham wins the ball for England. Beckham down the far side. Anderton infield. The pass is to Anderton. I don't think he was quite expecting it, and it's intercepted by Serna, and that Colombian's taken up again behind us. It's not a buzz on the line. It's him. I'll have a word with him at half-time, shall I? Won't make any difference. Diavila inside the England half now, and leaves it to Lozano. taken up by Valderrama. Terry Butcher looks around and sees he looks mad. Have a look at him. It's played down the left-hand side, and good tracking back by Anderton, who concedes only a throw-in, not a corner.
But if you don't have a word with him at half-time, I certainly will. He's good on my nerves here.
Did you notice him before I drew your attention to it?
He's worse than you, Alan.
Thanks. Throw in for Colombia. Play to Diavila. And now Serna. 35 yards out, shoots. Clatters into his own colleague. And it rebounds, though, to Colombia's possession once more. 2.5 minutes to go to half-time. And England could do with keeping this at 2-0. Valderrama, though, playing it into the penalty area. Half cleared, knocked back. Rincon shoots, blocked by Lasso, and it rebounds out of play for a throw-in.
You've got to be careful, England defenders, because the Colombians are making good inroads, good little runs into the box, good angled runs, and some of that delivery, some of the passing, especially by Valderrama, is very good.
Serna to Rincon. Rincon in towards the penalty. Oh, how did it get under Adams' legs? But it was cleared in the end by Gary Neville and taken up by Shearer. And Shearer runs to the halfway line. Well played, Alan Shearer. Finding Beckham now. And Beckham allows it to run to Anderton. On to Beckham. Owen down the far side, the right. Anderton sprinting forward to join him. The pass infield to Beckham. Anderton's available in space. So to his own. Owen on to Shearer into the penalty area. The pass a little overhit. And it's through to the goalkeeper, Mondragon.
Not bad. England really just sitting back, allowing the Colombians to come at them. And when they do break, they're breaking well, making good little passes in and around the area. I'd like to see England just maintain possession a little bit better, just try and make the Colombians chase the ball as they did when they got the second goal, of course, but they're not, and Colombia starting to make good passes, but as yet, touchwood, not getting through. 90
seconds left in the first half, plus whatever stoppage time is added on. I don't think there could be much of that. Beckham for England, into the centre circle. He's got Owen down the left, but the pass is shorter to Shearer. And good vision by Tony Adams, who knew where Owen was and flicked a delightful ball to him, 40 yards. Owen infield to Beckham. Now Anderton's free down the far side. England can really stretch this Colombian defence and do so now. Shearer to Anderton. Back to Ince. Shearer's available, so too is Anderton. It goes to Anderton. Back to Ince. Anderton once more. Anderton plays it off the defender, out of play for a throw into England, and it's midway inside the Colombian half. Down the England right. We're into the final minute of the first half. England lead 2-0. This is 5 Live, your World Cup network on BBC Radio. And a great evening it is for England so far. Romania trailing 1-0. England lead the group at the moment. The throw-in gets into the penalty. Owen tried to lay it back to Liverpool colleague Ince. It caught a deflection, and it's brought away down the near side by Cabrera. Cabrera now on to Rincon, and Lasso dashing back to get in a good defensive position. Facing Rincon now. Rincon shoots from a long range, optimistically. It deflects off Campbell, headed away by Ince and collected by Scholes. Scholes to Lasso down the near side. Anderton is available and unmarked down the right, as he seems to be all the game. And Scholes picks him out. That defender Moreno's having a nightmare. Anderton comes forward, finds Shearer. Shearer to Beckham, again down the right. Moreno's nowhere. Beckham crosses first time into the penalty area. Bermudez, faced by 3 England attackers, managed to head the ball away, and it's taken clear by Moreno. Up towards the halfway line. Played to Preciado. We're into stoppage time. Added on. I couldn't see our little man. We had trouble seeing him the other night too, because he doesn't quite come out to the touchline, so I haven't a clue how much stoppage time we've got. But we're into it, that's for sure. England lead 2-0. Lozano, 40 yards from goal. Valderrama to his left. Plays it forward to Preciado. Preciado doesn't control the ball. He was concentrating too much and leaning back into Campbell. And I'm told that we have 1 minute of stoppage time to go, of which we've already played 35 seconds. Great ball to the far side. Owen collects. Back to Anderton. England need only walk through to half-time now. There's no need for any great urgency. Just keep possession. Ince to the near side, and Lasso just short of the halfway line. Back to Campbell. Adams is available as well. It goes to Adams, and it seems as if England are playing for half-time very comfortably in the lead. 2-0 they lead. There's the referee's whistle. What a good first half.
Good first half, good quality goals. Anderton's been the best player. I think Scholes has really started to dominate the match. Beckham really with 1 contribution, and that was for England's second goal. But England have been patient. They've passed the ball around well. They've gone into some very good positions. Anderton's really had a field day on the far side. It's very comforting to see England pass the ball well, defend well as well, but they've still got to be on their toes. 2-0 is a funny lead. If Colombia get 1 goal back, they'll feel they can get another, so England's got to be on their mettle at the back.
Have we had a better free kick goal than Beckham's in this World Cup?
I think Sierra would be just about the same, if not slightly better, I think, because Sierra's left-footed and Beckham's right-footed, and I was left-footed, so I think left-footed free kick's slightly better. But I think that was a bit more quality, but as Beckham probably was further out, so obviously, take your pick on both, but it's a very quality goal and means such a lot to England.
What does it do to a young man's confidence? I mean, he's waited quite a while, hasn't he? Went through. He was the only ever president in the qualifiers. Then the disappointment about being left out of the opening games. What will that lift? How will that lift him?
Well, I'll give him great confidence, and I bet he'll be itching for another free kick around that situation. But to get that, England must get the ball up to the strikers. Owen's done well. Shearer's held the ball up well. England now, hopefully, will turn on a show in the second half.
Half-time, 2-0 England.
Thank you very much. 2-0 to England, and the Birdman has lost his flap. I can confirm, by the way, that Prince Harry is wearing a scarf around his neck. Meanwhile, more good news for England in the Stade de France tonight, because Tunisia are leading Romania. Here's John Murray.
Yeah, we're into time added on at the end of the first half, of which there will be much, but it's still Romania 0, Tunisia 1. Tunisia really have been comfortable too. They've had all the goal-scoring chances that have come in the game. The goal was actually a penalty in the 10th minute. Salimi was shoved in the back, and Skander Swaye took the penalty away into the bottom right-hand corner. Stelea went the right way, couldn't get a hand to it. So that was Tunisia's lead in the 10th minute, and they've held on to it pretty comfortably since then. So 1-0 Tunisia lead in time added on at the end of the first half.
Is there a feeling, John, that the Romanians aren't taking this perhaps seriously? They've all got yellow dyed hair, they've won the group already. Well, they've qualified rather.
Yeah, they started off in a pretty lacklustre fashion. As you say, they've all got these they've all dyed their hair yellow, and you get the feeling that they perhaps have taken their foot off the pedal. They made 5 changes for this game as well, but I think at the halfway point of the first half they then really decided to pull their socks up, and they have certainly tried to get back into the game since then, but Tunisia have just been too good for them.
Thanks, John. I can,
Both
by the way, that every team that's taken the lead, there's only 3 times has a team taken the lead and actually lost at this World Cup so far, and that was when Korea took the lead against Mexico, they lost 3-1. Brazil took the lead against Norway, they lost 2-1. Spain took the lead against Nigeria, they lost 3-2. But I'm pleased to report that no team has lost a match after leading 2-0. Let's have a word with Roy Hodgson about, proceedings tonight. It's going very well for England in both sets of matches.
Excellently well, yeah. I think it's been a very fine first half performance. I've been very impressed in particular with the 3 back players who have done some fantastic blocking, and of course the Colombians having tremendous problems defending, especially down the right wing, where whichever side Valderrama happens to find himself on.
From England's point of view, they'll be happy with the way things have gone in the first half. It's a good lead, it's a good platform to build on for the start of the second half.
Well, in the last game against Romania, the Romanian goals were scored by players from Coventry and Chelsea. We've now got a Middlesbrough player out there, Ricard. Paul Merson, of course, of Middlesbrough, is on the England bench. So the England lineup, the way that it was at the start: David Seaman, Gary Neville, Tony Adams and Sol Campbell, Darren Anderton, David Beckham, Paul Ince, who I thought was quite outstanding in the first half, Paul Scholes and Graham Lasso, and Alan Shearer and Michael Owen. Colombia revised lineup now: Mondragon the goalkeeper, Cabrera, Bermudez, Paleathos, Moreno, Cernazov. So we've got Lozano, Rincon, Valderrama, Aristizabal, Valencia and Ricard. I have no idea how they're going to play in this second half. We'll wait and see. Referee from Mexico is just acknowledging the 3 changes. I must admit, I found Beckham's goal quite emotional when you think of all the build-up that he's had over the last 10 days or so. His first ever international goal against a South American team as well. I mean, it was a South American type free kick. It was great stuff. And I watched him in a 1-to-1 here yesterday with John Gorman just for about half an hour, firing balls into the goal away to the right. It was very obvious that he was going to be playing today. The amount of time and attention that John Gorman was spending with David Beckham. All the arguments about Anderton and Beckham, and they've both scored the goals for England in the first half. And historically, of course, it was 8 years ago today that another David Platt, scored in Bologna against Belgium. David Beckham scores here. England lead by 2-0, and it will have to be crazy now for England to let this slip. And they will hope, and I wonder whether the players are aware at half-time, that Tunisia lead Romania 1-0. As Shearer chases, and out comes Mondragon. The ball is into the England half. Ricard can't control it. And Scholes hits Beckham on the back, and Colombia push forward with Valderrama, and Aristizabal is brought down by Paul Ince, picks him up immediately. Colombia have a free kick, and remember, Romania struck right at the start of the second half. England went to sleep in Toulouse, England must concentrate as Bermudez, the centre-back, comes forward. Despite all their first half domination, England will not want to let this one slip now. Colombia with a free kick. Here it comes, taken by Aristizabal. It's up in the air and away by David Beckham. Headed back in by Moreno. Alan Shearer, who came back initially for that free kick, is there. So too now Valderrama for Colombia. England looking to counter-attack, and Colombia have got so many forwards on the field. Now Michael Owen takes the ball down the left-hand side, and here comes the pace of Michael Owen. Feeds it into Scholes. Scholes drive! Brilliant save by Mondragon.
What a great break by England. The ball played out to Michael Owen. He took on the defence. Bermudez was the one that got back, tried to hold him up, but laid the ball back to Paul Scholes. He only had one thought in his mind, lashed a 25-yarder, going in Mondragon's top left-hand corner. The goalkeeper pulled off a good save for England's first corner.
Short corner, and it's lifted in by Anderton. Header from Shearer. Mondragon's there again on the line to make the save. England 2, Colombia 0. Second half just underway. You're listening to 5 Live, of course, and Tunisia 1 up against Romania in the other game in the group. These are the final group games, of course. Tomorrow the second round starts, the last 16, as now Colombia look to Ricard. A bit of pace inside the England area. Adams shows his experience, takes Hamilton Ricard out of the England area. Ricard with the right foot drives the ball all along the ground to David Seaman.
Well, it's a good pace to the game right away. England not sitting back, not holding up and waiting there, going forward with all guns blazing. Owen in particular has got a lot of space to go in now. Colombia have to come out. They have to leave gaps at the back. They have to try and force the pace, which they've got big men, fast men up front to try and do. It's a good test for the England 3, but also should leave plenty of holes for Owen and for Shearer at the back.
Now the second half is just getting underway, I think, in Saint-Denis, so they're running about 3 minutes behind us in Saint-Denis, where Tunisia lead through a penalty against Romania at half-time. Tunisia, of course, who can't qualify, and that's Kasperczak's last match. Colombia trailing 2-0. They have to score 3 if they're going to go through to the second round. Ball is with Valderrama. England haven't beaten a South American team for 8 years. Colombia playing neat football. Cabrera, who's certainly pushed forward. Now a driving run from the back from Moreno. Great challenge from Ince, and the referee's blown his whistle, but England have the ball. And he's given the free kick to England on the edge of their own area.
Ince was up straight away. He took a bit of a heavy tumble, saw the challenge coming, played the ball, and then was caught a little bit late, or very late, and I think he's just starting to have a go at Alan Shearer. That's good to see from England players. I like to see a bit of animosity between the players. They're fired up, they want to win, they're not content to sit back and say we'll just see this game out 2-0. They want to get more goals, they want to get a bit more passion. Straight away Shearer's got the ball down the right hand side. That's good play by England. They're really fired up.
Maybe it would be a good idea if Prince Charles and Prince Harry could come to all of the England games, and let's hope there'll be many more in this World Cup. It's going to be a throw to England by the corner flag near side. It's with Anderton, who had a very, very effective first half. Great outlet down the right hand side. Goes for a ball from Beckham, and a real chance for Anderton to pull this one over. In it goes. Oh, Scholes flashes the ball just wide, almost hits the side netting, and that's twice from Paul Scholes inside the first 5 minutes in the second half that he's almost scored. He lines himself up over his shoulder, the right footer, and in fact it just goes about, and we're getting an action replay of Glenn Hoddle showing great exasperation. It went no more than a couple of feet wide, as now Shearer tries to find Beckham. Colombia don't clear. Scholes again flicks it on superbly. Beckham and Scholes together in midfield, the two Manchester United players, until the referee denies them, and Aristizabal finds Ricon, and the ball travels down that far side. This is the Colombian right in the second half, and it's with Cabrera. England 2, Colombia 0. Anderton and Beckham with the goals. Gary Neville, another of those Manchester United men, cutting the ball out with his head inside the England area, forces it to this near side, and it's going to be a Colombian throw. The ball is with Arolizano. Taking over now is Aristizabal. Into Ricard, who can look awkward and clumsy sometimes, but has great skills. Tries to play it through to Valencia, who hasn't really had a touch yet. And it's David Seaman there scrambling the ball away, and another throw in to Colombia.
Isn't it good to see good interplay between Darren Anderton and David Beckham? Who'd have thought we'd ever see that? We thought both players were vying for the same position, wide right, and England's 5-man midfield. But as it is, David Beckham having a good game in the centre. Twice now he slipped Darren Anderton through. Darren Anderton just coming back off his wing, laying the ball back and Beckham dinking the ball over, Anderton spinning, getting in a great position, and Paul Scholes unlucky. I think they actually did shave the post on that occasion.
Already 6 minutes played in Lens in the second half. England 2, Colombia 0. That was the half-time score. Scholes has almost had a couple right at the start of the second. That's a beautiful little dink ball by Scholes. Down to Anderton near side. Across comes Michael Owen. The ball played back to David Beckham. Running there by Scholes. Beckham tries to find him. Colombia reading the situation, alert to that as Rincon sends the ball into the centre circle. Aristizabal still holds, faced by Paul Ince, who's covered so much ground in this holding role he's got tonight in the absence of David Batty. Valderrama into Aristizabal, who's there again, jockeying for possession. It's Paul Ince, and he's saying to the referee that he was pushed there in the face by Aristizabal as Beckham fires it long, and the ball's over Bermudez. Shearer doesn't control it first time. Can he score free? Oh, he didn't quite hit it cleanly. Gave the goalkeeper a chance to save that, diving to the right, and Colombia clear.
Great long ball through, just wouldn't sit up for Shearer to take it past his attackers, and one-on-one versus the goalkeeper. Did have the edge, a slight edge, and got in front of his defender, but couldn't take the ball through. As it is, took it to the right-hand side, finding a lovely low shot. The goalkeeper, Mondragon, made a good save. Low down to his right-hand side with that could and should have been 3-0.
Except I think it might have been tough on Colombia, that, because there was a suspicion, I thought, that Shearer used his hand initially to control it. Anyway, no third goal. England 2, Colombia 0. Aristizabal once more getting quite involved in these early stages of the second half. Valderrama, and the final pass is cut out by Tony Adams. Adams plays the ball into midfield and Scholes. And Beckham, and that's great play from Beckham to see the so available over on that left-hand side. England 2, Colombia 0. Romania 0, Tunisia 1. And here comes Campbell with a great run from their back. Can Sol Campbell go all the way? Owen will come in here for England. The angle's awkward, and Michael Owen doesn't really hit it as cleanly as he would have wished there. And the goalkeeper, I tell you what, Mondragon is having a great start to the second half here. He's saving shots all over the place. England have been denied 2 or 3, as now the train Valencia tries to steam forward, and it's cleared by England. Lozano's there with a nice touch and a little shake of the hips, and then he gives the ball to Beckham. Now England have lost a little shape here, bit bunched up in the centre. It's played neatly to Anderton near side. 5 Live, BBC National Radio. England 2, Colombia 0. High ball in towards Owen. He'll never get that against those two enormous centre backs, and Palacios is there to find Lozano.
Well, the more Colombia push forward, like we said, the more space they're leaving. Shearer was through then, and Sol Campbell, where the heck did he get that pace from? I mean, really, he knew he had a bit of pace, but he just went one thing in his mind when he came through. Went past about 3 or 4 Colombian players and almost got through Bermudez, and the ball broke to Michael Owen, and once again Mondragon produced a lovely save to his left-hand side. He's already been in a lot of action in this second half.
That was such a highlight from Sol Campbell, but now a little touch from Valencia. Oh, wonderful challenge from Paul Ince. Came in, never took his eye off the ball, hits it cleanly down the far side. Shearer's all on his own, might need some support. Scholes is going to try and get there if he can. Shearer instead rolls the ball across to Anderton. Scholes is desperate to get this one. Anderton can't filter it through, too many yellow shirts there. Comes back to Beckham, good possession football by England. Fired across to the far side, Owen's there. Initially it was aimed towards Lasso. Owen darts in field, and now here comes the pace from... Oh, that was a superb challenge from Lozano. And Colombia sort themselves out and then play the obvious pass, which Adams was light years ahead of, but sadly can't find Lasso far side, and it's a Colombian throw-in.
Well, at the moment, the back three playing well. Neville, Campbell and Adams in particular playing very well, just managing to blunt these attacks from the Colombians, but they're really giving it a go, and as they're giving it a go, they're leaving spaces for England to exploit. It's just going to take one more goal to really finish off this match for England.
England 2, Colombia 0, and still Romania 0, Tunisia 1 at the start of the second half in Saint-Denis. And I wonder whether the players know that scoreline. The ball is with Rincon, 25 yards out, lays it to Cabrera. In comes the cross from Cabrera. Chance here for Valderrama. The header in the end doesn't find the target. Lasso takes his time, patiently clears, and Shearer is out jumped on the halfway line by Palacios. But Colombia now are always going to be vulnerable, you suspect, as they push forward looking for a goal to give them some sort of a platform. As nice skills on the ball now by Valencia. Lozano back again to Valencia, turns towards Campbell. Campbell gets his foot in, and the referee decides that will have to be a free kick 30 yards away from David Seaman's goal. Colombian free kick, starting to run out of time. 11 minutes gone in the second half here in Lens. 2-0 to England. Lozano moves the ball in towards the penalty area. Adams is there again. He says, come on, everyone, out. Let's catch them offside. The ball still with Colombia, with Freddie Rincon. Rincon, right foot, left foot, and then to Aristizabal. And now Cabrera down that right-hand side. Colombia playing from right to left here in the second half, needing to score 3 goals if they're to join all the other South Americans in the last 16. 2 of those South Americans, Brazil and Chile, meeting tomorrow. Now wasted by Michael Owen. Can't do that. Rincon again, bringing the ball forward slowly. It's not Colombia's style, of course, to chase. They'll still try and play patiently and use their technique here. England have got everybody apart from Shearer behind the ball. It's near side and Moreno, the left back for Colombia. England with a great red wall now, as the final pass from Colombia is too short for Ricard, and in the end Ricard fouls Adams. England have a free kick.
Just got to be careful that Michael Owen trying to give the ball away to Paul Scholes. England working well behind the ball. They're getting men back to blunt the Colombian attacks and doing it very well. A very powerful display by Adams at the heart of the England defence. But when they do get the ball, just giving it away again. Just keep the ball in. If England keep the ball, they're going to spread this Colombian defence all over the park, which they were doing to a certain degree at the start of the second half. But just gone off the ball slightly. Colombians are starting to come into it a little bit more.
It's a free kick to Colombia, back inside their own half. Alan Shearer has been penalised by the Mexican referee. And following the free kick, England allow Lozano to take control in the centre circle. Can't do any damage at the moment. Lozano to the far side. The Colombian right, Cabrera, looking to try and involve Ricard. And that was a poor touch from Cabrera. Across comes Campbell. Ricard's furious. Didn't like the challenge by Campbell. And he's gesturing over there. England have a throw in. Take their time. Graham Lasso throws the ball down to Paul Ince. Always available, as indeed is Anderton now, if Ince can see him. The ball is stabbed a little behind Anderton, so Beckham will have to chase it. David Beckham down below us on the England right. His first England goal tonight, a wonderful free kick. He's done it, of course, many times for Manchester United in that kind of situation. First time at this level, first time in the World Cup. And Beckham's there again, winning the ball in the centre of England's midfield. He was caught by Aristizabal, but England have the possession. Referee plays advantage. And they look to try and find Shearer again down the far side. It's tucked away from him, though, by Cabrera. And Colombia set off from the deep once more. And Valderrama at the moment is really not having very much influence in the game. Long one from Rincon. Good running down the Colombian right again by Cabrera. Infield to Aristizabal. Aristizabal holds, looks for a 1-2 with Valencia. Valencia turns into Beckham. Beckham holds patiently, square ball to this near side, and Anderton. The crowd starting to do Mexican wave around the stadium as Michael Owen doesn't control it first time, and the enormous figure of Bermudez comes in to tidy up for Colombia. England 2, Colombia 0. Already nearly 15 minutes gone in the second half. Half an hour to go. At least now Valderrama has a touch. Involves Moreno. Ricard a little slow to react, and the clearance by Gary Neville finds touch.
You just see Glenn Hoddle on the pitch. He's just saying to the players, keep the ball. That's what England aren't doing. They're just chasing the ball for Colombia. Colombia making good passes, but England, when they do win it, give it away very, very easily and too cheaply.
The ball is again with Aristizabal. England mustn't allow Colombia back in this match. If they get one, it'll be a very different atmosphere. As the ball falls kindly now into Seaman's arms inside that penalty area, away to the left. Reminding you still that Tunisia lead Romania through a penalty, and if the two scorelines stay the way they are at the moment, England will win the group and will play Croatia and not Argentina. Glenn Hoddle trying to conduct from the touchline. He would like one more, I think. The ball now breaks to Colombia once more in the midfield. It's dabbed down that far side, and Valencia comes into the movement down the Colombian right. Infield to Aristizabal once more. Now Carlos Valderrama, little bit of space, but he just hits it to the left-hand side, and Moreno's high up and under to the far post. In will go Lasso with Valencia. Lasso hasn't got it away. There could be danger here. That was a mistake by Lasso over on that far side. A spot of ball watching from the Chelsea player, and Colombia have a throw-in 20 yards away from the England goal. Quickly taken, as of course they have to. Lozano's shot, Seaman scrambles, shuffles across, and in the end makes a comfortable save.
Well, I wonder what Glenn Hoddle's thinking now. He's been saying to his England team for quite a while, just keep the ball, but they've been guilty of giving it away. 2-0 is a nice lead to have, but you've still got to try and build things and try and get that third goal if you can, to try and kill off Colombia. They've had good chances at the start of the second half, haven't done that, so Colombia feel, well, it's all or nothing now, let's get forward. I'd like to see someone like McManaman possibly be given an introduction. He's the sort of player that can get hold of the ball, take it for a run and maintain England's possession, but who he would take off, I'm not too sure. Anderton's doing well. Whether or not he does decide to make a change, I'm not too sure, but that's the sort of player to come on and keep England in possession.
That was a tired ball there by Anderton, and the Colombian coach comes up and winds up his team, senses that England have just dipped a little in the last few minutes, as now some trickery from Marista Zabal, a chance for Lozano, good challenge this time at the back by Michael Owen.
That's right.
And where did he come from? It's a free kick. I should tell you, by the way, that my understanding, Terry, is that England the intention was, if they were chasing the game here, certainly, if things had gone badly, that McManaman would be the first person to come off the bench.
Yeah, I still think he might be the first person as well, because England need to get hold of the ball. He's the sort of person that can get hold of the ball, take it for a run, take it 30, 40, 50 yards into the opponent's half, and then, you know, obviously England would regain possession in there, but one or two players are starting a little bit tired. England have worked hard, especially in defending and trying to win back this ball from the Colombians in the second half.
And Colombia, of course, have 3 new players out there as well. And it would be nice to have Steve McManaman involved in the World Cup. He's been patiently waiting for an opportunity, and the fact that Michael Owen's in the England team as well, that would be an understanding down there to have, with Ince McManaman and Michael Owen. Now Moreno, still Tunisia leading 1-0 against Romania. We've played nearly 18 minutes of the second half. Colombia having a lot of the possession, but still not really threatening David Seaman's goal. Television pictures of Prince Harry leaning forward with his scarf around his neck alongside his father here, and really enjoying this evening. The ball with Carlos Valderrama, and he has to give it back 2 or 3 yards to Lozano, and Colombia start off from the halfway line almost until Paul Scholes nips it in. It's a rather dull period of play at the moment in the game. England's second goal really knocking a lot of the wind out of the Colombians, that free kick from David Beckham. England are looking comfortable as the ball is lifted in by Ricard, headed away by Adams, but England are clearing and not really finding anybody. Now, can Ince and Owen try and light up England? They've got a throw in down below, near side of the field. We've got nearly 25 minutes to go, so this is the sort of time, if Glenn Hoddle is thinking about changes, this is the sort of time now where he might introduce 1 or 2 new players. But at the same time, he won't want to disturb what is a winning routine in this game. It's with Shearer. Shearer looked as if he was pushed there, and the referee's given the free kick.
Yeah, great throw by Gary Neville. It's so handy when someone in that position's got a long throw. Glenn Hoddle on his feet by the touchline, just urging instructions at Paul Ince. He's just trying to say, just try and keep the ball, try and make sure you keep your shape, keep us pushed up, and get some players working. I mean, the England attitude has been fantastic in this match so far, and they have to keep up this attitude and keep up this desire to get hold of the ball and keep it.
Campbell stays back, but Adams goes forward. Lasseau and Beckham over the ball near side. Remember that free kick they got against Tunisia? Lasseau runs over the ball, Beckham runs over the ball, Lasseau hits it too deep to the far post, struck that too well really, and Adams can't get underneath that one, and it's going to be a Colombian goal kick.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad ball, to be fair. There was somebody coming in on the far post, but Tony Adams has come from the near post, almost wins the ball back in the area. That's good attitude by the Arsenal captain and England centre half. He's trying to win the ball back deep into the Colombian area, but that's much better, much better pressing.
We've lost the light now here in Lens. Floodlights glowing here, 42,000 people in the stadium. Another historic night for this town, the home of the French champions. And England 25 minutes away from a place in the second round. And the bonus could be, if Tunisia beat Romania, that they won't have to face the more dangerous Argentina side. But they're all dangerous in the last 16. And in fact, England could be threatened with Germany in the quarter-final if they find themselves in that part of the draw. Germany playing Mexico in the last 16. Otherwise, it would be Holland or Yugoslavia. Sol Campbell, and he was played into trouble actually there by Graham Lasseau, and he couldn't control that volley, and it's out of play. And again, it's a rather scrappy period of play, but to be honest, Glenn Hoddle won't really be concerned too much about that. We've got 2 balls on the pitch at the moment, as Colombia look to Lozano to try and give them some kind of lifeline. The pass is overhit, and it's through once more to David Seaman. I mean, Terry, although England are not particularly playing well at the moment, Glenn Hoddle will be happy in a sense that the game is going through a rather ragged phase.
Yeah, but if Colombia were to get a sniff at goal or get a chance or a shot or something like that, then we could be back to the war job, and we don't really want that. We want to just make sure that we can keep possession and do what we did at the start of the second half, and that was playing the Colombian half and make chances.
But Colombia still needs 3. England only need to draw. They're leading 2-0. The ball is with Michael Owen just down below us on the right. Plays the ball through the defender's legs. Then he's obstructed by Moreno. And England now starting to have a little bit more of the action inside the Colombian half. They've got another free kick near side of the field. This is a slightly better angle too as well, maybe, for Beckham and Graham Lasso. It was Lasso who lifted the last one in, left-footed. Beckham to the left. It's either going to be a right footer from him or Lasso to the right. It's Beckham. Beckham's ball, and headed away before Adams can threaten. Over on the far side, and it doesn't quite go for a corner kick. It's gone off Palacios, and it'll be an England throw-in by the corner flag.
England changed the routine then, whereas normally 2 men go over the ball, and the left footer wings it in from the right-hand side. It was Graham Lasso that picked the ball up, and in the end just put it down. As soon as he put it down, David Beckham delivered the ball. So good set play routines by England.
It's Scholes now for England, approaching the halfway point of this second half. 2-0 to England. Goals from Anderton and Beckham. 5 Live you're listening to as Scholes is trying to win a corner, then a little back flick, and it's going to be now a Colombian throw-in. So we are exactly 3/4 of the way through this critical game for England. It's looking good for them though still, and here's Alan Green.
Beckham, score of the second goal, about 15 yards inside the Colombian half. To Darren Anderton, score of the first goal. He guides it forward. Scholes is just offside.
Great ball by Anderton, just coming inside on his right foot. Thought he was hustled out by the Colombian players. In the end, dinked the lovely ball through. There was 2 England players going for it, Scholes and Owen. Unfortunately for England, one of those was offside.
Still 1-0 to Tunisia in the other game in Group G in Stade de France. There was a handball there by Valencia, free kick to England. Gary Neville to take it. I think they've got about 25 minutes to go in Stade de France. We've got less than that, a couple of minutes less than that here in Lens. Beckham to Anderton on the halfway line. Tried to play it off Freddie Rincon, but Rincon kept control of it. Back to Lozano, Valderrama, and now Valencia. Valencia, big and awkward. Slides the ball through to another of those substitutes. Aristizabal into Valderrama. Good play by Colombia and an excellent tackle by Tony Adams, and England regained the ball. Beckham. He's got Shearer down the right. He guides it towards the right. Anderton's running through the middle on Mark. Owens on the far side. Shearer hasn't spotted that. Plays the ball back to Beckham. Beckham drifts it. 40 yards cross field. Excellent pass. Beckham's growing in authority. Lasso on to Owen. Infield to Scholes. England just pulling control of the game again. They've had the 2-goal lead, remember, since half an hour was played. Then Colombia went through a good spell, and now England are coming back. Gary Neville to Ince. Neville again. Ince once more, yarding from the near touchline. Beckham, excellent ball forward to Neville, but Neville's offside, and it's a free kick.
There's always an impatience with England teams, isn't there? Just to hit that final pass and get forward and everything else. Whereas the Colombians will just keep the ball, other teams just keep the ball. Italy, Holland, Germany just keep hold of the ball. If it has to go back to the centre halves, it does. England were doing that in the first half, and there's always a reluctance to try and do those sort of things and maintain possession. We have to try and always hit that killer pass.
Ball is with Valderrama inside the centre circle. Aristizabal on and out of possession for Colombia, and then Adams digs the ball towards Lasso, puts him under pressure. Lasso with the pass back to Seaman. Seaman right-footed, clearance up over the halfway line. Bermudez heads it back into England territory. Scholes is there, so too is Lasso. And now Campbell on to Ince. Ince to Beckham. England needlessly given a free kick because though there was a foul on Campbell, England still in possession. Anyway, they strike it quickly, and now it's with Anderton near side. England right. Back to Beckham. Beckham to Adams, and slowly but surely they're just making Colombia run all over the pitch trying to get the ball back. Neville then, long ball forward towards Shearer, half cleared. Anderton's there, wanted Shearer to keep running. Shearer had stopped, and it's behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's a bit of a quiet phase at the moment. England not playing with the same sort of gusto as they did at the start of the second half, but they're in complete control at the moment. Colombia not really doing much when they do have possession. Tony Adams at the back, and the Arsenal centre-half playing very strongly. Campbell's doing well alongside him, Gary Neville. England look quite solid, and touchwood, that'll be the case. But they've still got a little bit of work to do, the England back three and the 2 wing-backs, so they're not having it all their own way. Just a case of keeping their concentration going.
Aristizabal back to Lozano, inside the centre circle, and he hits it long towards the left, towards Moreno, who takes it on his chest. Anderton's close by. Moreno's done well. He's midway inside the England half. Back to Oristizabal, and England just getting plenty of players behind the ball at the moment, and they win it back through Paul Scholes. And actually Scholes had to look back because there was no one ahead of him, and then Anderton gives away possession a little carelessly. Rincon on the halfway line, I think he's been their best player by some distance, Freddie Rincon, and he, like Valderrama, retiring internationally after this World Cup. Lozano on the halfway line, left of the centre circle to Oristizabal, and Rincon once more, room for him to run into. Shoots slow, takes a deflecting off Campbell, and bumbles its way through the seaman.
But that's the sort of thing that could happen. I mean, the shot was deflected, I think it was, of Sol Campbell when it came through, and had that fell through, I think, to was it Valencia just inside the England penalty? He might have done something better with that, but it just takes one deflection, one miss-hit pass, one lapse of concentration by the England defenders, and Colombia could be right back into it. So still a lot of work for the England defenders to do.
Cabrera on the far side, poor ball infield, collected by Shearer, taken up by Owen. Owen running towards the penalty, into the penalty area. Is he going to score? Oh, he's blocked by the goalkeeper and behind for a corner.
It's amazing what pace can do for you, isn't it? It takes a pass by Shearer. Shearer did well to win the ball back, and then Owen just took on Bermudez, went past him quite easily. The ball just slightly too far ahead of him, but a good lunging, sliding tackle, I think, by Palacios. In the end, I think the ball did come off Michael Owen, but the referee's given a corner.
We'll take it. Corner from the England left. Sweet for Beckham's right foot. Drifted in towards the near post towards Adams. Headed away again. Only to Beckham. Crosses. Oh, overhits that wildly behind for a goal kick.
I think that was a shot, to be fair, by David Beckham. I think he saw the goalkeeper come off his line and tried to whip it, but as it is, it went high and
Here's
wide.
McManaman. McManaman's coming on. England will make the change. It'll be interesting to see who's taken off. You reckon on Scholes? We'll see. There are still 17 minutes to play here. England lead 2-0. This is 5 Live in the BBC. Soon there'll be 3 Liverpool players on the pitch. Scholes of Manchester United to Ince of Liverpool, and away to the far side, and Chelsea's Lasso, still inside his own half though. Back to Campbell, who has had a very good game. I couldn't believe where he got that run from in the second half. It was a stunning run, and I thought we were going to see the goal of any World Cup, but he was blocked in the end just outside the penalty area. The ball's out of play, and it is going to be Paul Scholes. You're a genius.
No, to be fair, I saw it come up on the television beforehand.
Well, I knew you couldn't do it through wit and knowledge. McManaman makes his first appearance in a World Cup for Paul Scholes, and he's going to go in there. Well, hey, what an exciting midfield this is now. Beckham and McManaman. Well, you can't say it's negative, that's for sure.
Nope.
And we've got a little over 16 minutes to go. It's still 1-0 to Tunisia. They've got 20 minutes left to play in the Stade de France. Big roar from McManaman. Throw in taken by Lasso. Helped on by Shearer. Cleared by Bermudez. Up over the halfway line. Ince tries to head it back into Colombia's half, but only finds Rackard. He's been very, very quiet since coming on as one of 3 half-time substitutes for Colombia. England win the ball back. Lasso gives it to McManaman, and McManaman runs forward up over the halfway line. I fear that Romania may have equalised in the Stade de France. We'll hear news of that, I'm sure, very shortly. Let's go now, John Murray.
Yeah, it's Romania 1, Tunisia 1, and Viorel Moldovan has scored for Romania. The cross from the right-hand side, Moldovan brought it down and lashed it into the back of the net, and Romania had been threatening to score. Now they have done. Moldovan's got it. Romania 1, Tunisia 1.
Beckham crosses into the Colombian penalty area, but the flag is up for offside, and you know, in a strange way, it's a bit like when we were here on Wednesday night. The other match is so important to events here in Lens.
They are, but first and foremost, England have really wrapped up the victory. Yes, they have wrapped it up. We came here the other night and both teams went out. That was a very flat atmosphere, but I'm sure the England fans will be pleased with the way things have gone so far.
But it's back for an England clash with Argentina in Saint-Etienne on Tuesday. 9 o'clock kick-off local time, 8 o'clock in England. McManaman to Owen. Back into the centre circle, and Beckham guides it to the near side, and Anderton. England deserve further goals. Anderton comes forward. He scored the first of the 2 that we have had. Anderton running down towards the corner flag, inviting the challenge from Moreno. He got what he wanted. He got the throw in.
That's better play. We've now got to throw in deep into the Colombian half. Good run by Anderton. He's doing the same as what McManaman can do, and now we've got a chance for Gary Neville's long throw to take effect.
McManaman, like Beckham, has never scored for England. Beckham has broken his duck tonight. Here's McManaman on as a substitute. Back to Anderton, room for Anderton, left foot shot, straight at the goalkeeper.
Interesting, Shearer was following up. Good save by Mondragon, actually held the ball quite well, but Anderton coming inside on his left foot. It's good to see England maintain possession from a good throw-in. Ball coming back to McManaman, tried to play 1-2, in the end Anderton had the shot.
England 2, Colombia 0. It's 1-1 in the other game. So at the moment, Romania are going to top Group G. Beckham sweeps a glorious ball to the far side. Instant control by Owen, just outside the penalty area. Lasso on the overlap. Owen plays it to McManaman. McManaman edge of the penalty area, well, dribbles into no man's land, and it's cleared by Rincon easily. Up towards the halfway line, and Aristizabal. We've got 14 minutes, a little less than 14 minutes to go here in Lens. Valderrama to the near side, and Lozano. Lozano 20 yards inside England territory. Moving in field. Lots of, how many red shirts behind the ball at the moment? 8. Only Owen and Shearer up front. It's guided towards the far side to Rakard, and Rakard plays the ball in. It sort of bumbles in off Lassau's left foot and is caught by Seaman. Seaman, good throw out to Beckham, who's just ahead of the penalty area. And Beckham, great ball to Shearer. Owen's to his left, can't sprint too soon forward. It's now to Owen, left side, forced wide by Shearer's pass. But Shearer's inside the penalty area. There's the cross, deep, looking for Alan Shearer, jumps well, takes it in his chest. Great! Oh, what's been given here? Handball? Handball.
Yeah, I think it was. I think Shearer, good ball by Owen to the far post. Shearer was going to head it, and then in the end, I think Paliakos just overcommitted himself. He chested the ball down, and in the referee's opinion, and handled it down, because otherwise he would have been able to unleash a left foot shot from a slightly narrow angle, but nevertheless had a shot on target, but the referee deemed it to be handball.
There are 15 minutes to go in Stade de France, where it's Romania 1, Tunisia 1. Here in Lens, 12.5 minutes left. England lead 2-0. Ince has been magnificent defensively. Clears the ball away towards the halfway line. Headed back by Bermudez. Neat flick in field by Cabrera, but Valderrama can't collect.
I think it's a sign of the times from Valderrama there, wasn't it? I think the years has caught up with him there. There's a ball coming into him, and in the end he just couldn't get his feet in shape to actually collect the ball, and just play the ball out for a goal kick. We just saw a replay of that incident. I think the referee might have been right then. The ball dropping, Alan Shearer already committed to head the ball, and in the end tried to chest it down and just caught the ball with his hand. Otherwise he might have been able to get in a shot. Seaman's
goal kick towards the England skipper, who jumps and fouls Palacios. It's a free kick to Colombia, and the atmosphere's gone a little tepid, but it is different from the other night, because we had a situation there in which neither side qualified, Spain and Bulgaria, despite the fact that it was a great game. England will qualify, but it's whether they qualify first or second. At the moment they're second and are heading to play Argentina in Saint-Etienne next Tuesday. Oh, Shearer tried to pick out McManaman, slightly behind the Liverpool player, and it's back with the yellow shirts of Colombia. Aristizabal to Valderrama, and now Valencia almost falls over his own feet. Gets the ball to Valderrama once more. Flicked on. Rijkaard turns. That's a great effort, just wide. Flicked the ball forward, and then right foot on the volley. Seaman was beaten.
Yeah, just took it over the top of Tony Adams, and Gary Neville could do much about it. And actually, I think Rijkaard's hurt himself when, I think it was Tony Adams or Gary Neville came through to block the shot, but that was only about 2 or 3 feet wide of David Seaman's right-hand post. There's another substitution here for England.
Lee for Anderton.
Yes, just a straight 1-for-1 on the outside right position or right wing back. I think Robert Lee will just sit here. Let's do a job. Darren Anderton's had a great game. He's scored the first goal. He's been a good pest to Colombia down the right-hand side. They've not really been able to get hold of him very much, and been a good outlet ball for him, and supplied a lot of good crosses into the box as well.
A little over 10 minutes to go. This is 5 Live in the BBC. England 2, Colombia 0. Both goals in the first half. First from Anderton, and then from Beckham a free kick. Ince is caught from behind, but the referee amazingly waves play on, and Ince is hurt. Colombia have possession. Ince is calling for treatment. He was caught obviously from behind. How did the referee not see that as a foul? England fans don't like it either. Beckham up towards the halfway line, just needs to kick it out of play. Do it now, David, that's it. Let Ince receive treatment. And Ince is talking to the Mexican referee. Are you blind? Or something like that. He might just emblazon his words with a few other adjectives.
Well, that was an absolute disgrace, wasn't it? Because he was caught well from behind, then he actually won the ball in front of 2 Colombians, took the ball away, and then absolutely chopped down. I'm not too sure what the Colombian player was. It was Valencia, was the number 9, just got in behind and actually didn't play the ball, played Paul Ince's ankle, and the ankle showed a lot of concern before the match as to whether Paul Ince would play or not. Not too sure if that was a smokescreen, but he's had a great game for England, hasn't gone off. I'm not too sure if Glenn Hoddle wants to make that sort of substitution now, because Paul Ince has had a great game.
9 minutes left for play, and I think Ince will come off soon, presumably for Batty, but we'll see. Now, McManaman comes forward, and then the referee judges that Shearer fouled in making the challenge on the defender Palacios and awards a free kick to Colombia. It's with Cabrera on the far side, but the game as a spectacle is really tapering out now. I think Colombia realise they've got no chance of beating England.
Yeah, I think David Batty's going to come on for Paul Ince. Paul Ince seemed to be struggling a little bit there and hobbling about, and I think there's a chance for David Batty to come on and just a straight 1-for-1 swap in the middle of the park.
Ricard once more for Colombia, but Beckham's there. Beckham puts him off. Lee finds Ince forward to Shearer. Shearer to Owen. He's onside. Is this another goal for Michael Owen into the penalty area? Good save by the goalkeeper, but he really should have scored. Ball still in play. Beckham draws the cross into the penalty area, headed up and away by Palacios, dropping towards McManaman, left of the penalty area, got Lasso behind him. Owen should have scored his second World Cup goal there. Here's Ince back to Beckham, who has scored this evening. Beckham to Lee down the near side. Owen lurks with Shearer and with Ince at the edge of the penalty area. Robert Lee, 8 minutes left for play. Beckham on to Owen, another chance for Owen. Owen gives it back to Ince, and Ince slashes it wide.
I think that's the last contribution for England for Paul Ince tonight. He's about to come off. David Batty coming on, straight 1-for-1 swap, but that was Shearer. That's what we want to see. Shearer through to Owen. Owen blasted the ball. Instead of placing it, the goalkeeper Mondragon stood up well, blocked it with his knees from about 8 yards out, at a slight angle to the right-hand side. The ball then going out to Beckham, and in the end going to McManaman, coming across, and Ince slashed his shot well wide. He now comes off. He's had a great game for England, Paul Ince. David Batty will just hold that midfield role.
He's been wonderful, Ince, absolutely wonderful, and rightly gets a rapturous reception from the England supporters. We've got 7.5 minutes left for play here. England lead 2-0. They have done the business in terms of qualifying, but it's Romania 1, Tunisia 1 in Stade de France, and they've got 10 minutes to go there, and Romania are topping Group G at the moment. They will play Croatia in Bordeaux. England will play against Argentina in Saint-Etienne. Unless Tunisia score again, who knows? The ball is with McManaman. He loses out to Rincon ahead of the centre circle to Valderrama. Valderrama trying to feed it through, and Lee is doing good stout defensive work since he came on as substitute. He gets the ball, finds Batty to the far side, and it's not Owen, it's Lasso now to McManaman. McManaman level over the edge of the penalty, skips past Rincon easily, and it's a pass back there if he can find Lasso. He can't find Lasso though gets the tackle in, wins it back, plays it to McManaman. Lasso again crosses to the edge of the penalty area, falling for David Beckham. Beckham on his right foot tries to chip the goalkeeper just over the crossbar.
Great play by David Beckham there. Everybody thought he was going to smash the ball. Mondragon came out to block the angle, just dinked the ball probably about 2 feet over the bar. The Colombian goalkeeper getting back made a token effort, but had that been a couple of feet lower, that would have been in for Beckham's second goal and England's third as well. But England finishing the second half off as they started it on top, dominating, always looking as though they can break through into some desperate defending by the Colombians.
It sounds awfully mean, but England have created a lot of chances, Terry, to have scored only 2 goals.
Yeah, it has. I mean, Owen was through. That's the most obvious chance missed, but Colombia still going forward. England defending very well. I think this win really has been built on those 3 at the back.
A little over 5 minutes to go here on Five Live's game on this Friday evening from Lens. England 2, Colombia 0. Valderrama, the Colombian captain, falls over. No foul. Good tackle by Adams. Adams finds Batty. On to McManaman. Sprinting over the halfway line. Down the far side, the left. Rincon tracking back. McManaman takes it inside. McManaman slides the ball to Beckham. Shearer's ahead of him. Down the near side, it's Lee, and I don't know what happened there. It was Lozano who seemed to get a touch as Beckham tried to play the ball through, and Colombia have it once more. 5 minutes to go. There are 8 minutes left for play in the Stade de France, where it's 1-1, Romania and Tunisia. Here's Lee for England to McManaman, who's seen a lot of the ball since coming on as substitute. Finding his Liverpool colleague, Owen. Back to McManaman, Batty in field. Batty collects. Beckham is free once more inside the centre circle. Lee down the near side. So too is Gary Neville. It's to Lee, Beckham and Batty. And to say the least, Colombia are a beaten side. But it's a matter of whether England can score another goal or 2. Just to, give their confidence an even greater lift. We'll see. Batty, wins the ball well. Finds Shearer. Shearer inside the centre circle. Over it's the pass, but McManaman sprints from the far side, keeps it in play, down the left touchline. McManaman to Lasso. There's no urgency about England's play at the moment. They know they've won the game. Their position in the group will be decided in the Stade de France. And Romania are drawing with Tunisia, having been a goal down for a very long while. Beckham chips the ball back to Seaman, and Seaman hits it out of play. He couldn't catch it.
Well,
straight out of play.
That was a bit too casual, wasn't it? David Beckham's ball there. Adams played him the ball inside for him to turn, where the player out to Gary Neville on the right-hand side. Instead, lofted the ball back over the Colombian striker to David Seaman, met it on the volley and slashed it out wide. But England in complete control, really. I mean, they're defending well. It's just a case of just not being too flippant with the pass.
4 minutes to go. Another good tackle by Adams, who was caught by Oristizabal. It's a yellow card for him.
Yeah, quite rightly as well. And Tony just getting there ahead of the substitute who came on and just followed all the way through. There's been some pretty mean challenges by the Colombians, especially one on Paul Ince, which went unpunished, but at that time the referee deemed it to be a booking for Oristizabal.
That was an awful challenge by Oristizabal. We've just seen a replay of it. It was so high. Here's Michael Owen. Back to McManaman. Shearer's available. McManaman picks out Shearer. Shearer volleys it. Good save with the goalkeeper once more. And should be cleared by the right back, Cabrera.
Well, it's a little bit like Tunisia, really. I mean, England could finish the game 6-up. Good right foot volley by Shearer, just the edge of the box. A dipping volley in the middle of the goal. The goalkeeper did well. The ball was moving. He did well not to palm it into his own goal, to be fair, because that ball was fairly travelling. But England have had good chances. It'll be interesting to see how many shots they've actually had on target, because in the second half, Mondragon's really performed heroics for Colombia.
It's played towards the near side, towards Moreno, up over the halfway line, and how many minutes to go? England fans singing and celebrating victory, which assures England of a place in the last 16, though it looks as if they're going to finish runners-up to Romania, as we expected before these evening games started, though. Tunisia's early goal brought England terrific hope of actually winning the group. The ball's out of play on the far side of the field. It's a throw-in to Colombia, and they're taking an age about it. Get on with it, folks. Oristizabal, who's just been booked for a crude shot. In fact, it's a free kick. It's a free kick. That's why he's got across to take it. 2 minutes left for play. 2 minutes and a few seconds. From the right-hand side, about 8 yards from the corner flag. Right-footed. In it comes towards Valderrama, but headed away by David Batty and dropping towards Michael Owen. And Owen collects, and Owen comes forward, and Owen's running in the defence and taking on the defender Bermudez, and he's being pulled back by Bermudez. And is this going to be a red card? He was running through into the penalty area. This referee's being very lenient tonight.
Just a yellow.
Bermudez is lying down there as if he's hurt. He's just desperately anxious to avoid a red card. And the television cameras have given a red card to Adams, which is quite clever, isn't it? It's the other number 5, you nits.
What a burst of speed by Tony Adams that was.
What a burst of speed. Strictly speaking, do you think that was a red card?
No, I think there was another player that was just inside the penalty area. So in the end, I don't think that was worthy of a red card. Definitely yellow card. There were other players in the box. He didn't have a direct run on goal, but he's now paid the price because he's been stretched off.
And how many minutes have we got? A minute to go, plus stoppage time. And how many thousand fans have we got here dancing and singing? England are about to win. Let's get an update from the Stade de France. John Murray.
Still Romania 1, Tunisia 1, but really if anybody else is going to get a goal in this game, it looks as though it'll be the Romanians. So 1-1 it is, and we've got, 4 minutes to play here.
Thank you very much, John. And England have a free kick, just a couple of yards outside the penalty area. Shearer fancies this one. Shearer takes it, hits it low. Oh, and it's wonderful save by the goalkeeper. Oh, the referee, what is going on here? Shearer tried to take the free kick, and the referee has booked the England captain.
Well, he's booked him because he didn't blow his whistle. I think the referee was trying to organise the wall, and he's an officious referee, this chap from Mexico, isn't he? Brizio Carter.
I can think of other words.
But no, I can't believe that, because at the end of the day it was a great piece of opportunism. I mean, it's the sort of thing that Gascoigne used to do for England and for his club sides and many times before, but a great piece of play by...
It's a good save, actually,
it was a good save, but to be fair to the goalkeeper, he was still lining his wall up, so the referee deemed it to be ungentlemanly conduct. He's now booked Bermudez, who's limping back on.
Bermudez has come on, and he's now officially shown him the yellow card. It obviously his eyes covered as if he's led off with a stretcher. Finally, England can take this free kick. We're into stoppage time. Shearer up over the wall, another good save, shot lashed in by Adams, blocked. Goodness gracious, how did they avoid conceding a third goal, Colombia? They're on the counter-attack now. Aristizabal. Well, England, no exaggeration, could have hit half a dozen tonight. 2 will be enough to win the game. There's no question about that, but they are going to finish runners-up unless Tunisia score a late goal in the Stade de France. Beckham on towards McManaman. You have to sprint to get that in, keep that in play, and he can't. It was overhit by Beckham, and it's going to be a throw-in to Colombia.
Well, amazing save by Mondragon. Lovely free kick by Shearer, where he went to his near post, and then Tony Adams came in, and Mondragon just lying on the floor and just stuck his leg up and blocked Tony Adams' shot. It was a left-foot shot, and almost as good as the one he sealed the championship with for Arsenal.
Well, I tell you something, as a shot stopper, this is a pretty good display, isn't it, by Mondragon? England lead 2-0. We're in stoppage time in Lens. There's about a minute and a half to go in the Stade de France, where it's Romania 1, Tunisia 1. Romania set to head Group G. Valderrama finds Lozano. Lozano forward to the near side, and Moreno up to the left back, level with the edge of the England penalty, plays it in low, and there were appeals for handball there from Colombia, but it's cleared by Neville, out of play for a throw-in. Not sure.
Well, good play by Gary Neville, but good play by England as well. Tony Adams went up, I think it was with Valencia or Rijkaard, and in the end just got his body in the way, as he's done all night. England have defended very well. They're much fired up for this at the back, especially.
Moreno with a throw into the England penalty area, and it's stabbed away by Robert Lee, I think. No, it wasn't Lee, because here is Lee, near the corner flag, and of his own half, finds Beckham. Lee again. That was good play. Cross comes Rincon, who's been outstanding for Colombia, and I'm sorry his international career is ending. Exceptional player. Another rendition of 3 lines, but they've got to beat Argentina next, and that is going to ask an awful lot of England. Neville with a long throw, mammoth throw. Shearer's after it. Shearer with Palacios in close contact. Shearer holds it up, plays it back to Lee. Lee to Shearer once more. Beckham's free and available, but Shearer knows that England have only got to keep the ball for another few seconds, and the final whistle will go. That's surely a free kick. Yes, it is. Free kick for a foul on Neville. If anybody wants to take it, Beckham will take it, surely. Shearer's available. Beckham's looking for McManaman. He's made the run towards the edge of the penalty and spotted. McManaman heads it into Owen. Owen with his back to goal. Inside the D. Plays it back to Beckham. Beckham evades the referee and then clips the shot over the crossbar.
Good play again. It's just a casual play. I think the Colombians obviously thinking about going home now. They're thinking that a lot of these players are thinking their international career is over. And England really just able to waltz through the game.
Send them victorious is the rendition from the crowd now, singing the national anthem as the final whistle goes, and England have made it into the last 16. They've won by 2-0, and there's a multitude of flags showing the cross of St George. David Seaman, who hasn't had too much to do with that England goal, applauds the England fans. Shirts have been swapped. Some great World Cup figures from Colombia will never appear in the World Cup again. Players like Valderrama and Freddie Rincon. But England march on. The photographers flash right in front of us, looking up towards Prince Harry, who's smiling, and Prince Charles. They're leaving their seats about 4 or 5 yards behind us. The celebrations will go on into the night here. It's in stoppage time in the Stade de France. Romania are going to win the group, but England have done what they needed to do. They've qualified. Final score here in Lens: England 2, Colombia 0.